makes the day go quicker.
You okay?
I'm Mrs. Shalom, actually.
Oh, yeah.
All right, yeah. Anyway, what I want to do, October Red Boxing with the lovely Ben Shalom, the first thing I want to do is congratulate you on the boxer show that you did on Sunday. What an absolutely family-orientated affair that you put on at Alexandra Palace.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that. Obviously, you won't get the credit from boxing fans, but anyone was there saw that a lot of kids, a lot of families making boxing feel. Sometimes it gets a hard time. Boxing, it can be quite intimidating for people. It can be quite off-putting. But I think the key for us is to make boxing as respectable as possible, because ultimately that's how we're going to get the broadcasters behind it, the sponsors behind it. So yeah, to bring boxing to an audience like that, it was really good. I hope we can do it again.
For our viewers that didn't see, as soon as you walked into the Alexandra Palace, you had food stalls, you had a mini ring, you know, you had Spencer Oliver doing pads with members of the public. There was like a boxing machine where see who punches the hardest. They had celebrities there. Ashley Banjo was there. It was really public orientated. It wasn't just about the fights. It was about getting the public involved in boxing itself.
Exactly. There was a lot of activity. I saw a few comments that people are up and down on the seats, but it's because there was so much going on, and it was it was an afternoon. It felt like you were going to a fair event, and yeah, all boxing related, loads of things, a lot of charity stuff going on as well. And it was good, because I think there were a lot of people there that haven't been to boxing before, and I think it showed it in the best possible light. And hopefully we can do more, because I think it's only going to grow the sport.
And that's what I was going to ask you about, the boxer breakthrough show. Is that something that's going to become habit on our Sunday afternoon TV?
I hope so. I think realistically, we took advantage. The Premier League's not there, and we thought, you know what, that's a big audience, and that's Sky One and Sky Showcase. I think in the summer we'll see things like that, and we hope to do a few summer events in the daytime, and we can start. Adam Azim, I really believe, if he was on just a main event on a Saturday night, it wouldn't have made that impact. I think the digital reaction was crazy. I think it was because it was at a time where everyone was involved, everyone was interacting with it, and obviously he had to put in the performance. But it was a great environment for him to announce himself. I felt like that was a real announcement. We know how good he is, but that was definitely an announcement to the boxing world.
Adam Azim, the boxer talent, the one that you've decided, you know what, we are signing this guy, he belongs to us. Talk to us about you finding that talent and literally grabbing hold of it to secure it. The reaction to his win online was phenomenal. It was like, you know, this guy is literally the next best thing. You can see it in the comments. I tell no lies.
We've made it very clear our focus is young fighters, and we've talked about the same names for so long in British boxing, and we had an opportunity to come in with a clean slate, with no fighters, with no commitments, and we took a risk, and we've taken a lot of hits in the first year sometimes, where people are saying, oh, you know, maybe it's not as competitive as it should be and this and that, but we want to invest in young talent. That's been the focus, and we're going to see it pay off over the next few years. And yeah, Adam Azim is right top of that list, and he was almost a diamond in the rough. And when we spoke to Shane initially, I still remember, and we made sure that was the guy that we got, and we think we're going to go right to the very top with him. And yeah, it's just good, because we know how good he is. We see it. I still don't think people really know how good he is, because we've not been able to see him go past 1 or 2 rounds. But he's sparring middleweights, and they're getting out the ring, and he's keep his feet on the ground, which I'm sure he will. He's got a good family, amazing trainer, an amazing setup, and he's ticked every box. And a lot of fighters come in wanting to earn a few quid and get out of the sport. This guy, he's only motivated by titles. It's so refreshing to work with a fighter that is so committed to the sport, that wants to go to the very top, where there's no bells and whistles, and that's what the sport needs. And he's going to be, I think, the biggest name in British boxing in a few years.
How does it take then you as a promoter to like manage a fighter like that? You know, somebody that is really focused and driven. Like you said, he wants the titles. It's going to be like, I don't know, a horse that bolts the stable. How are you then, as a promoter, going to manage him carefully, give him those tough fights, but still manage him carefully to make sure his career progresses in the right direction?
Look, luckily he's with amazing camp, as I say, with Shane and Barry McGuigan. They've seen it all before. And for us, I think, look, it's hard enough getting people to get in the ring with him, and it's a great problem to have, but it really is difficult because he's 20 years old. What does he bring to anyone other than giving them probably an early knockout? It's a tough one. I think he wants to win world titles young. And so we'll probably go down the international route. Yes, we've got to keep his feet on the ground. I think what matters to us is that more people get to see him fight. Because I really think it's an experience going to watch Adam Azim fight. He's electric. He's a fighter that's going to get the casual fans in. He's already got a big crowd that come and see him. Everyone that was there at Ali Pali was in the end there for him. And we want to take him around the country. We want to show him off. We want to make sure he gets the grounding and the platform to really take it to the next level. We got no doubt that he could literally fight world champions in the next 6 months. He is that good. Like, that is absolute no bullshit. This guy is a freak that we've never ever seen before, and we just gotta take it slow, make sure he's built properly commercially. What we need to make sure of, there's world champions that become world champions, but they still can't fill arenas. They still can't make the money that they deserve to make, and that's the key for Adam Azim. We want him to be the biggest star in British boxing, and that will be our focus.
I like what you said there, and it kind of like leads me into the next question. You can be a really good boxer, but are you going to fill the arenas? Are you going to bring that crowd in? Which moves me on to character. What does it take for Ben Shalom, boxer, to look at a fighter and think, you know what, I'm not going to have you on a fight-by-fight basis. I want you to be part of our team. What is it that has to stand out to you?
I think the one thing that stood out about Adam Azim when we first met is he's so dedicated, he's so focused. Every day, he never cuts corners. As I say, there's a lot of fighters that talk a good game, but what are they doing when no one's watching? What are they doing when maybe the opportunity doesn't look like it's there, but they never stop believing? I think you're looking for fighters that have that extra edge, that extra determination, that where they know in their heart of hearts they're going right to the very top. Don't get me wrong, you need talent, but Adam Azim has a lot more than talent, and he's been in that gym since he was 6 years old because he knows that he was born to do this. And there's a difference between fighters that enjoy a fight and fighters that really genuinely believe this was what they were built for, and that's what we hope to find, and that's what we think will take the sport to another level.
That is what you are doing with him. It's nice to see how his career is building, but we are here today. And another thing that you know that I'm passionate about is cross-promotional work, getting those fights that we want to see. Another domestic bout. We have Chris Eubank Jr. versus your fighter, Liam Smith. Talk to me about how that fight got made to get us where we are today.
Look, we were pushing for that fight since July, August. It's a fight that we really, really wanted. It's a fight that we think a lot of boxing fans really wanted and probably thought they would never see. It's a very, very big risk for both fighters. For me, it's a complete 50-50. It's a fight that eventually the other side agreed to, which we're very happy about. We worked well with Kalle, and as you say, I think it's getting to the point where promoters have to work together or we're just not going to see the fight. So it's another big one. It's, for me, two of the biggest names in British boxing. Eubank Jr., outside of the heavyweight division, biggest name in British boxing without a doubt, against Liam Smith, who is the toughest opponent he's faced since George Grove, but also a proven world level fighter, of which Eubank Jr. is not. If Eubank Jr. can beat Liam Smith, it's the biggest win on his record, but that's why it's such a big fight. That's why it's such a big risk, because you've essentially got one of the biggest stars of British boxing going into one of the toughest nights of their career before they fought for a world title. And I really believe Liam Smith feels that, well, I know that he believes he's going to do it.
We talk about signing Liam Smith. What was it about him that made you think, you know what, I want him to be part of our stable?
I've always admired Liam Smith. I think he goes sometimes a bit under the radar, but he's one of the. I enjoy watching Liam Smith more than probably any other fighter. He's one of the smartest fighters we've got. He fights well on the inside. He's extremely competitive. He's a real fighter as well, and that's what's going to be great about January 21st. They're both warriors. They're going out on their shield. They are not going to give in. And it's a pleasure to work with Liam Smith because he'll take any fight, anywhere, anytime. And that's all you want. And when we got the opportunity to sign him, we knew we had someone that could sell tickets, sell arenas. And now he gets an absolute monster. And it's going to sell out very quickly. And delighted that we managed to deliver it for him because it is the fight that we all focused on.
Well, just to let you know, our audience, the viewers, you know, we've watched what you've been doing and you've got a reputation of building 50-50 fights. You've got a reputation that's now taking hold that you are prepared to put your fighters into risky fights. So that's something that the public feeds back. I've read the comments, I've seen it. So you are building a bit of a reputation for that. And that's good for you, isn't it?
It is good, but I think the fighters have to be confident that they are going to get opportunities when they lose. And I've spoke to you about it before. There's a job of a promoter in British boxing right now is to make sure that fighters aren't afraid to lose. We want to see the best fights. We want to see them at the right time. We want to see them when fighters are in their prime, and that's how the sport is just going to get better and better and better. And yeah, it's a pleasure to be involved in fights like this, because they're one that, as a fan, you'd be desperate to go to. So to be involved in it is incredible.
It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you. I've got your team staring at me. I can feel the eyes boring in the side of my head, but we shall catch up in Bournemouth, October Red Boxing, with the lovely Ben Shalom. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.